Moonbrush Wood, a forest town with a welcoming population. Demons and the legions of hell could ride in, and would probably be offered cheap lodgings and a night of good cheer in a warm, cosy tavern.
Hello everyone and welcome to Moonbrush Wood.
A door has been manufactured. Your workshop is not big enough. So be it.
Once again transferring a level 10 mistress in. This level we're up against heroes only.
Build a lair for your creatures.
There are 4 libraries full of wizards. Well, not full of wizards, they each have a level, I believe it's 7 or 8 wizard in. And
An entrance has been claimed.
this level is fairly long, but it's also the introduction to
Build a treasure room to store gold.
probably the game's most famous minion.
You need to build a lair for your creatures.
So let's have a look at the overall level. Okay. As you can, there are a lot of specials in this level. There's one in each of the libraries and a couple of others. There are a couple of gem seams that we can claim, and all the enemies are located in either one of the 4 libraries or in the middle. And there is actually a few neutral creatures here at the Green Arrow. So plenty for us to be getting on with, and hopefully can make this a bit interesting. Here we go, gonna dig straight in.
Into a new area.
There's the door. As you can see, built up a fairly standard dungeon at this point. Because we've got gems available to us, I'm making a massive training room. And oh, look what we found. There's a temple, which I'm going to claim. Ah! Now, this is one of the recipes for the temple. Fine, we'll just get the imp to claim the temple. We in fact got a Baal demon, a troll and a dark mistress from this area.
You have taken control of a new room. The gods are pleased with your sacrifice. The gods have rewarded your offering.
Now, 2 flies sacrificed in the temple completes your next research project.
The gods are pleased with your sacrifice. The gods have rewarded your offering.
Which was a bit poor of me there, because we haven't actually built the library yet, so I can't chain my actions.
The gods are pleased with your sacrifice.
What I'm looking to do here is that a fly and a spider, a fly and a spider combine to be a warlock. So that's the overall aim. And I've got my Baal demon, troll and dark mistress. I wonder what we'll get for this.
The gods are pleased with your sacrifice. The gods have rewarded your offering.
Yup, it's the Horn Reaper. Basically, the most limited creature in the game. He is exclusively a killing machine. He's extremely expensive to keep. You'll notice that while the other creatures take 20 or 30 gold to spend 20 or 30 gold to actually train, the Horn Reaper takes 150, and he gets angry and kills stuff constantly, and he won't research, manufacture, do any sort of useful job at all. But the upside to him is that he's as hard as nails in a fight.
The gods have rewarded your offering. The gods are pleased with your sacrifice.
I actually meant to throw 2 flies into
Bigger treasure room.
and there's the downside to warlocks. When they get above level 1, they start flinging fireballs at non-warlock creatures. But as I mentioned, the upside to the Horn Reaper is that he is an absolute tank in battle and is the strongest creature bar none. So you just have to put up with him being see the 150 to train. You have to just put up with him being a pain in the arse. What I wanted to do was actually complete another I wanted to complete another research project, but the I forgot that I'd already sacrificed a spider, so I ended up getting the warlock. So
Creatures need a bigger lair.
just did the same again, and I'm going to let the warlocks train. But yeah, the recipe is 2 flies equals your next research done, and a fly and a spider's a warlock, and
Spell has been researched.
Bile Demon Troll Dark Mistress is Horned Reaper. So that's basically where we stand now, and if I get any more flies they'll be going in the temple. But we're going to start mining out all this gold now, because I want to get to the gem seam, and I want to start really cranking up training. If you noticed earlier when we were looking at the map, there was sort of a long mazy structure up at the top here which leads to that. I'm actually planning on shutting that off for the moment, because there are a couple of rather nasty traps in there, and I don't want a horde of, even though they're easy enough to replace, I do not want a horde of imps to I don't want a horde of imps to end up going flying down there and all getting killed. And we now have the graveyard. Pretty much replaces the prison for me, stops me putting the prison down, just due to the fact that graveyards are used to produce vampires, and vampires are better than pretty much anything else that you can get from any of the undead creatures. They're certainly better than skeletons and ghosts, and there is an argument for saying that overall they're probably the most useful of all creatures, because they're pretty much good at anything. The only thing they don't do is manufacture. But we'll get more into the vampires when they start appearing. I'm just building out my dungeon again here, just putting down the rooms which are going to attract the creatures that I want. Again, the creatures that I want are going to be mistresses, bile demons, orcs, warlocks for the purposes of research. But if you're feeling particularly nasty, I'll get down to that later, for when you're feeling particularly nasty. I'm actually putting a workshop down here because I want doors.
There is nothing left to research.
Now that's an interesting spell, Disease. You can only cast it on your area, otherwise it would be horrendously overpowered. And what you can, as you can see here, this is basically residual from when I used to play around with the undead level editor. Because I couldn't find my Dungeon Keeper CD, I basically had to undo whatever I did to the levels. It took me a bit of a while, and there's still a couple of residual things left over, but nothing that's going to have any effect on the level. Again, I'm just stopping gold production here for a minute, just so I can get a door in this area. Okay, that'll shorten the workload. One thing you should do with the graveyard is keep it as far away from the rest of your dungeon as you can, because aside from the Horned Reaper, who pretty much just loves death, creatures do get upset when they see dead bodies. So trying to keep the graveyard off the beaten path is usually a decent idea. Plus the fact that one of the creatures which is majorly affected is warlocks, and I'll explain that later. As you can see, here's the second gem seam up here, and the first one is over there to the west, currently been dug out. A lot of this level's setting up, but hopefully next time we can get into some action.